are you doing today?
Good, good. It's a pleasure to be here.
Welcome to TV Bricks, and I'm so pleased that today you had one of the best sessions in integration, infrastructure integration. Please tell us more about it.
Absolutely. It was the session was called Integrate Africa, Regional Corridors, and the theme of the event today, right, or the whole of the African Investment Forum is unlocking value chains. So a critical part of unlocking value chains is investing in connectivity, both hard infrastructure, so investing in transport, water system, ICT, energy, and soft infrastructure to facilitate the movement of people, goods, capital, and services. So this is what this session was about. It was about bringing the limelight on regional corridors, their importance, on mega projects like the Abidjan-Lagos, the Lobito corridor, connecting Zambia, DRC and Angola, or the standard gauge railway that we're investing in between Tanzania and Burundi. The whole idea is that to unlock Africa's potential in global value chains, we must connect Africa, and connecting Africa will go through investment in regional corridors, not just to connect for the sake of connecting. It's to connect so that goods can move and not necessarily be exported in the form of raw materials. We must also look for ways to add value to those goods so that we capture as much as possible of the value of our commodities inside of Africa. So in a nutshell, that was it. It was really to bring, it was an interesting session in the sense that we brought together the policymakers. So we had the opportunity to have the Secretary General of the East African Community, the Commissioner Infrastructure of ECOWAS was also here, the Deputy Secretary General of COMESA was here. We had the investors represented really well, and I think President Adesina really set the scene with his speech at the beginning that the idea is to make this session a dedicated session for the AIF, for future AIFs, so that we zoom in on the importance of regional corridors and it becomes a permanent feature of conversations in future AIF.
Is this still in the potential stage, or would you say that there has been work that has been done in this marketplace as it prides itself as action orientated? What actions have been taken as far?
No, absolutely. We are always straddling the two. The potential and the deals, they're happening at the same time. You have to, the potential is always in the future, but at the same time we're doing deals. I'll give you a very good example. The standard gauge railway between Tanzania and Burundi was presented last year as a possible deal in one of the boardrooms. And as we're speaking, we're now working to fully develop the proposal and go to the board this year. So it's the two. It's an actual action-oriented platform. That's why you see that it's the focus is almost entirely on boardrooms. The setup is mainly focused on bringing in investors around a particular transactions, and then moving the transaction to financial close as quickly as possible.
In that transaction, what kind of an impact do you think you'll be unlocking the value chain, as to say?
No, the impact could be tremendous. When we talk of corridors, the essential objective that we're aiming for is to move goods, it's to move people, it's to move services, and it's to move capital. If you think of a road exists so that people can move, so that goods can move. So ultimately, the impact of our investments on regional corridor will be felt by the traders, by the business community.
So this morning we had a boardroom around our project we have in Kenya, which is the PPP project into transmission of electricity. So this is a first one in Africa. So this is what we talk about innovation. And innovation is not always about doing something brand new worldwide. It's also about taking ideas that we found somewhere, that people are doing it somewhere else, and then you adapt it. So in this boardroom, we we presented to potential lenders and investors this project in Kenya, and they did understand the project. And before that, we already had some commitment from lenders. So this morning we have those commitment was again reaffirmed, and then we had new commitments from other lenders who expressed their interest into financing this project.
I believe they were lining up to all to be the first beneficiaries of it. And why would you say is innovative and significant that why did it take so long to have such a triple P that you would think that it's something that is needed, because most governments in Africa do not really have the capital to really do such projects, especially for transmission?
Yes, it's innovative because this is the first one, and when you do a first one, it always takes time because this is not known to people, so they have to get accustomed to that, and then you have to find a way in terms of law, regulation, and also the operation parties here, the electricity, the transmission companies in general, in countries to get used to that and try to find a way to do the project. And also the lenders, the triple P, they're used to generation. So now in electricity, we know how to do generation. And you can adapt it to some countries where they are not really open, but we know how to do that. And the transmission part is quite new. And in Africa, the demand for electricity is linked to the growth of the population, but also to the growth in terms of demand, individual demand for population. So we have a double effect. So this means that you have to generate more and more. We know how to generate, but when you generate electricity, you have to transport it. And taking into account the fact that we have to generate more and more green electricity. And when you talk about solar plant, or hydro, or thermal, this is usually in very remote areas, far from where the electricity is needed. So you need to transport that electricity generated here to the consumption areas. And so, thus, if you take into account the growth in the demand of electricity and the fact that you have to generate more and more in areas which are far from where it's consumed, then you understand the need of transmission line. And our government, they have a lot to do in key areas like health, education, security. So that's why the triple P in transmission is very important, because here we are filling a gap, and a gap which is very important and which will be more and more important going forward.